Everybody, we are back. My first guest earned an Academy Award nomination for his work in the film As Good as It Gets. Now he's getting rave reviews for his performance in the brand new movie, Autofocus. Please welcome Greg Kinnear.
I don't want to alarm you in any way, but Bolton's backstage.
Yes.
And he's just in some dolphin shorts and a tank top.
Yes.
But he looks oddly menacing. Just FYI.
Oddly menacing, yes. He is oddly menacing. I'll take care of him.
I know.
Let me handle Bolton.
I feel like it's going down tonight, though.
I hope not. I want this to stretch out for a long period of time. Now, congratulations, great reviews for this movie. And this movie, I got to say, this movie is like tailor-made for me because I was telling Rita Wilson when she was here, she's also in the movie, that this movie, if you're not aware, it's about Bob Crane, right. Who played Hogan on Hogan's Heroes.
That's right.
And kind of his descent into, you know, sort of
say it.
Naughty things. That's the best I can do.
Well, that's the technical term, I think.
Yeah, naughty things. Well, he got very much into, you know, pornography and then filming things himself. And I got to say, as a big Hogan's Heroes fan, there was one part of the movie, and I don't think I'm giving anything away, that really blew my mind, which is there was sort of a kind of dream, weird fantasy sequence. Yeah. Where Clink, they're shooting an episode of Hogan's Heroes, and Clink and Schultz start to also fondle women with Hogan. Mm-hmm. That blew my mind. Because Clink is there going like, join us in a threesome, Hogan! You know? And you're like, wow, what the hell's going on?
Sort of answers the question of what would happen if Bob Crane had dropped acid during a group grope.
Yeah. But with Colonel Clink there.
Yeah, it's and our Werner Klemper, by the way, is as good as Werner Klemper. I mean, he was a dead ringer.
He was great as Werner Klemper.
Yeah, and Maria Bello was very game for that scene, and she's an amazing actress who's also in the film. And yeah, it was an odd sort of sequence to kind of depict just Bob's state of mind, which at that point in the movie obviously isn't very good.
Now, did you watch, because I know it's all very strange if you grew up watching the show. The show was in reruns by the time, you know, you and I are probably watching television, but I watched it all the time. So hearing this stuff now about Bob Crane, or seeing him depicted that way, it's very weird because it's almost like seeing another icon, like Gilligan, you know. Gilligan having an orgy. You're just like, you know. The skipper's like, way to go, little buddy. It's very strange.
Yeah, it is because, you know, he had such a clear identification as a guy. I mean, the show was on for 6 years, and it's not like he did a lot of other film work or television shows outside of that. That was pretty much what he was known for. And his brand name from that was so strong. Anybody our age, of course, has such clear notion of this all-American guy. And if you were to line up all of the celebrities from that time and ask pick them out of a lineup, who was having this deviant sex life, he'd be the last guy you'd pull out of the line.
It would be him and like Ozzie Nelson would be the two that you would least.
That's right.
And then to find out about Ozzie was crazy.
Yeah. Benny Hill maybe would be at the end too.
In the movie, there are a lot of sex scenes, and there's a part of the movie where Bob Crane is walking away from the camera and he's naked, and you used a stunt ass for that scene, if I can use the term.
Well, it's contractual.
Contractual, okay.
Yeah, no, before Willem Dafoe's also in the film, and before we ever got there, they had a shoot for a couple weeks before we started the movie where Paul kind of did all the home video stuff, and so they had to use other actors. So yes, I was at my house one afternoon, and an envelope, just kind of a you know, blasé envelope shows up. I thought it was like a new Visa card or something, and I open it up, and oh my gosh, it's 3 choices, if you will. This is damaging stuff, man.
Yeah. 3 choices and your Visa card.
That's right.
That rivalry with they got to do whatever they can to beat MasterCard now.
And they don't take American Express.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was really strange, and so I couldn't do it because I don't truthfully know what my ass looks like. So I passed the job off to my wife, who went a little larger than I would have liked in retrospect.
Right.
So,
That's a little sad. That's
yeah.
the one right there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a long talk about that. But it's very funny because the guys, you know, as they're kind of modeling for it. I guess they want to show their face too, so you see their derriere, and then they're kind of looking behind them. So it's very odd.
Yeah.
I hadn't been in this situation before.
Right.
It was a first for me.
It's almost like they're going like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You like?
Well, you probably got to pick your stunt butt for this show too, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
you know. See, I wouldn't pick the one that looked like mine. I would try and improve. I would use that as the opportunity to get some kind of guy who's working out on the Stairmaster 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Choose that, and then go like, yeah, that's pretty much what mine looks like. We have a clip here from the film, and I think this is, if I'm right, this is the moment where you and Willem Dafoe.
It's towards the end of the film, and I think they're at. He was murdered in 1978 in a motel room in Scottsdale, and the murder was never really solved. John Carpenter, who was his best friend and kind of partner in crime, and very much involved in this kind of sexual addiction and this lifestyle, was the likely suspect, and Willem plays him. And towards the night before he was murdered, they had a kind of a shouting match in a restaurant in Scottsdale, and this is kind of the result.
And
of
some
that.
people think that was
The catalyst.
Yeah, that's the reason that he went on to kill him. All right, let's take a look at this this clip.
Sick of scoring broads for you, okay? There. I said it. What am I, like a drag? A drag on your career? Who's always been there for you? When you were moping, complaining, oh, John, nobody wants to hire me. Flying around the country whenever you called, hauling you from the airport, taking seconds. I'm a drag. Well, you're a loser. Bob Crane's a loser. I ain't a loser. Bob Crane ain't a loser. It's you who brought Bob Crane down. Bob Crane is a good guy.
That's great. Anyone who shouts, "I'm not a loser," is not.
Yeah.
It's like, I am not a crook. Yeah, the movie, I mean, I was really interested to see this movie, and I thought you pulled off a great job. The hardest thing, I think, in these biopics is it's these people that you know really what they look like. And so that's the hardest. Whenever you see a movie like about the Beatles or something, these guys come out who are kind of heavy. It's like, they don't look like the Beatles. And it takes you out of the movie. But I never had a problem with this. I really sort of believed you were Bob Crane. You do a great job in the movie.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So good luck with this. Autofocus opens Friday in New York and Los Angeles. Then nationwide on November 1st. Greg, thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot.
Greg Kinnear, everybody. Billy Connolly coming up. We'll be right back.